I can still remember the early days of this little YouTube channel of mine. I remember when I used to look at my subscriber count every single day when I'm just uploading videos, and zero subscribers, zero subscribers, zero subscribers. I still remember the name of my first subscriber, Nia Jobs. I still remember her. I'm going to keep shouting her out even though she don't even make videos no more. I'm going to keep shouting her out because she was my first subscriber. And then like I said before, and like I've heard online, that first subscriber is the motivation. You need someone liked it, then that means someone else is going to like it. And that was the motivator that I needed to keep on pushing, you know? And I remember when I was watching subscribers and I was starting to gain a little bit of traction, it was just one subscriber, one more. And I was doing content that everyone would like. But then sometimes there's that piece of me that says, okay, yeah, I'm doing all this positive, happy shit, but like, I cuss a lot. I got unpopular opinions. I want to share those too. You know, I see bullshit and I want to address it too. So when I started doing that, that's when you start rubbing people the wrong way. People don't like hearing what they don't agree with. And I just said, fuck off. You're in an echo chamber. I'm here to destroy that shit. I'm going to give you that other perspective. And if you don't like it, so be it. But this is before. This is after that. Before, though, when I started doing that, that's when I got my first unsubscribe. Oh. And when I said another one, you know, like another unpopular opinion video, oh, I lost some more. But then like I would sit back for a week, I would take a week off, and then I come back, and then I gained even more followers. You see what I'm saying? And I realized then, holy shit, I can be myself online. Some people aren't gonna like what I said, but fuck them. If you too scared to hear somebody else's opinion on something, and the second someone says you something you don't like, and you were just gonna unsubscribe, whatever, bro. I don't care about this to that degree anyway. But it's just like, it just shows me that there's some people out there that are incredibly sensitive and only want to hear the messages that they like. And that's how you get yourself in an echo chamber, and that's how you get completely disassociated with reality. You need to always hear both perspectives on things and find where you lie in between those two polarities. That's just my opinion, right? But I say all that to say that when you are indeed being your true, authentic self, people ain't gonna like you. Everybody is not going to like you. We got all these people pleasers out here that just do everything so everybody likes them. I don't want everyone liking me. That's weird. If everybody likes everything I say, that means I'm not being real. That means I'm not being honest. That means I'm not really saying what's on my mind. You know what I'm saying? That means I'm lying. And as abrasive as I am, and sometimes even incorrect, you know, sometimes that's a matter of opinion, sometimes it's a matter of fact. But nevertheless, I do not lie. I do not lie. You know what I'm saying? And when there's, like, for me, maybe there's a little bit of hater in me, maybe. But whenever everybody likes someone, I tend to side-eye that person. And when everybody dislikes somebody, that's when I pay attention. Because if you dislike him, that means he or she said some shit that you didn't like. And I'm like, well, they didn't lie to you. Hold on. Because I found myself becoming friends with the people that people didn't like. Elementary school, middle school, high school, college. Man, that dude weird. Oh, that dude, hey, bro, this and this and this and this. Man, I don't like this. Me neither. Yo, what's up, bro? How you doing? Oh, they don't like you because you're going against the grain. They don't like you because you're voicing your opinions. I fuck with you, dog. Even though we don't agree on everything, I fuck with you. Yo, we cool, bro. We cool. You know what I'm saying? But then the opposite of that expression. In college, I've talked about this in early videos. In college, there was this dude in part of our friend group. And I always side-eyed him because one of the things that I was able to observe, and like I told you, in college, I was a completely different person. I was angry, I was vengeful, I was homicidal and suicidal. You know what I'm saying? It's like I was different. So I didn't trust people. And my distrust in everyone allowed me to see the darks, it allowed me to see the lies, allowed me to see the evil in people, you know? But one of the things that I was able to observe with this individual was that he never disagreed. He was a yes man. So I remember I tested him one night. We was all drinking and smoking, just kicking back, chilling, playing video games, listening to music, just having a good time together. But like I said some shit that I didn't agree with. And then I saw, yeah, man, that shit's stupid, bro. I don't even agree with that. And you just agree with some shit that I just made up. You just gonna say yes to everything. So then my actual best friend now was really good friends with him at the time. And I was like, yo, like you becoming my best friend. So I'm gonna just look out for you. You can have your opinions. You can hang with who you want to hang with. But I was like, yo, bro, Dude doesn't disagree with nobody, and you trust him. If you do business with someone, they're going to tell you real quick that this contract makes no damn sense. You're going to be around with someone that always agrees with something. What happens when someone says something about you and he agrees with them? Then what? And he's, oh, well, yeah, it makes some sense, but yeah, he's cool, bro, whatever. So then the following year, they become roommates. They live together, right? They live together. But then when he's living with him, I remember the one time he said, yo, bro, you were right. Like, I can't stand this dude. He's always agreeing. He doesn't have a backbone. He doesn't stand up for anything. The only thing that he stands up for is his favorite hockey team. But that's the only thing. This man agrees with everything that everybody says. That's why everyone likes him. I told you this in the first month of me knowing this dude. You see what I'm saying? But hey, sometimes it's better to learn late rather than to never learn something. You feel me? You know? So my advice to the world, man, is be yourself. Now, by just who I am ever since I was a child, I've always been a contrarian. I grew up with a very paranormal childhood. So there's things that I grew up knowing and accepted as normal that some of you out there have never experienced. And you will just write it off as being superstitious and all. No, I lived this shit. This is why I can't watch paranormal movies and stuff. I can't, because that's real to me. You know what I'm saying? That's like a war. I would sit back and watch a good action war movie. But the person that's been to Vietnam, the person that's been in Iraq, the person that's seen real combat can't watch that movie because that's going to set them back. Same shit with me with paranormal stuff. You feel me? It's like, so I grew up always knowing that there's stuff that people simply don't know. I've always grown up questioning everything. I've always grown up, questioning and challenging authority. My middle school teacher, right? I'm gonna make a long video, but and this is gonna be a little bit of regurgitation or repetition, but whatever. But like in middle school, I had this teacher, and I think I was talking in class or something. I can't remember. But then he came up to me and I'm the good kid in school, so when I get in trouble, I'm like, oh gosh, I'm sorry. But then he says, he said all that, and I was ready to just take my L and be like, yo, I'm not gonna talk anymore. But then he says, I know your grandmother, right? And I was like, in my head, that was like the first time I stepped up to authority. I was like, bitch, in my head though. I was like, bitch, who the fuck you think you talking to? But what actually came out was I was like, my grandma don't even like you. I was like, so go ahead and call her. Don't ever threaten me with family. This is what I said as a middle school child to my grown-ass adult middle school teacher. I said, don't ever threaten me with my family ever again. And I walked out. You know what I'm saying? It's like, he didn't call my grandma. He didn't call my grandma. And I can't lie, that was my own private victory, but that was the first seed of me standing up to authority. Because and once again, only when it's when people in positions of power are they forcing their authority on top of you. Now, I respect people's positions. That's your job. That's your position. That's what you do. But when you're walking around, oh, I'm the senior manager, so I'm better than you. Oh, I am a police officer, therefore I now control you. That DNA, that tribal DNA, that warrior DNA activates in me from youth. I don't like when people exert their authority over people unjustly. You see what I'm saying? I've always been like that. Fast forward to high school. I was in physics class. And there was a particular, a homework assignment that I didn't do too well on because I was like, yo, I don't get what the fuck is going on with this. But then the teacher chose me out of everybody in the class. And she was like, oh, Prince, come up and explain problem number 7. And I was like, yo, Ms. Brobst, I don't know how to do that one. I can't explain it if I don't know how to do it. I was like, I could do number 6, I could do number 14, I could do all these. That's the one on my homework that I didn't get. I don't know how to do this problem. And she said, well, just come up here and explain it. Ms. Brobst, how can I get up and explain it if I don't know how to do it? And even a girl in the back of the class, she's like, Ms. Brobst, he said he doesn't know how to do it. Can we just move forward? But she forced me to come up anyway and try to explain it. I'm like, okay. So then I walk up there and I'm trying to stammer my way through it. I'm like, well, gravity, I know the ball is falling, so there's gravity involved. I know there's 9.81 meters per second. I can't remember if that's meter per second or meter per second squared. Regardless, it's 9.81 meters per second squared, whatever. It's like, but I don't know how to use the other pieces of information to get the number. Maybe, and she's like, you know what, just go ahead and sit down. You sound like you're having a stroke right now. My grandmother had a stroke or something like that. And I was like, in my head, I found it to be kind of disrespectful but funny. I was like, oh, word, I got a stroke. So I was like, I'm going to sit down then. See, for me, I took it as a joke. You know what I'm saying? But then I told my mom, and my mom spazzed out. She's like, the fuck you mean? She had my mom, she emailed Ms. Brooks, she called her, and then she had her not publicly, but like she made me she made her apologize in person to me. So when I have a grown ass woman apologizing to a child, yo, like, I'm just gonna brush my eye. You know what I'm saying? That makes me feel good. But it's just like, you know, but like, that's when, like, I know what it's like to have backing. I know what it's like when to see, like, even with people in positions of authority can fuck up too. You know, there's people in positions of authority that don't know things, you know? So this is why I'm always like this. And I've learned, especially with adapting with this internet culture, if I'm all happy and peaceful, hey guys, we have differences of opinion, but we're all we are all the babies of Mother Nature, and we should all kumbaya and be friends. Fuck that. Sometimes you need to oppose a strong position with another strong position. Sometimes water needs to meet fire. You know, you can be all friendly, but hey, I mean, we can disagree. In real life, I'm like that. Hey, we can have disagreements, bro. Let's just meet halfway. We agree with this, this, and this. But when I'm on this internet shit, man, fuck that, bro. This internet shit is a game to me. It's fun to me. And this is my place that I can bait out the exact people I'm talking about. A lot of people be like, why are you so, like my mom, my grandma, my girlfriend, they all say, you're very abrasive, especially when it comes to religion. Yeah, because y'all got a whole bunch of indoctrination. When I ask a lot of y'all where stuff came from, a lot of you people that have been worshiping for 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years can't explain where everything comes from. Well, that's just where I have faith. So let me get this straight. If I'm in a basketball game and I just want to have faith that the person in the basketball game is going to hit a home run, I can have as much faith as forever. You're putting your faith in the wrong place. You need new information. And for those of you that didn't get that, what do you mean? You can't hit a home run in basketball. So if you have faith that they're going to hit a home run in basketball, it will never happen. That's what I'm saying. So it's just like, that's where I'm just like, hey, I've learned a bunch of stuff. Y'all all credit me for being intelligent. You all credit me for always finding the new information, but you guys don't want to embrace it because it's something new. You don't like it. You never heard it before. And because you never heard it before, it's demonic and witchcraft. Okay. Just like, though, when it comes to, I always do like the extremes, like with veganism. You know, I believe that black people, white people, Asian people, Hispanic people are all supposed to have different diets. I do not believe that we are all supposed to be eating the same food. I don't, you know. Like, for example, when it comes to vegans, you know, like, you know, specifically, like white people that want to be vegans, right? You see some white people that look good when they vegans. And then you see some that look like they're borderline about to die. You be like, yo, fam, what's good with you? You look malnourished. I'm a vegan, and I'm better than you because I don't hurt the animals. And I'm like, yo, like ideologically speaking, like good job, you know, you eating plant-based and all that type of stuff, but like maybe your body type actually requires meat. Maybe it actually requires the enzymes and the proteins that come from meat specifically to help you out. You don't look good. You can save the trees all you want, you're dying. Vice versa with black people that like they say, oh, well, this is Big Back Barbecue. It's like Big Back Barbecue is why you have gout. Big Back Barbecue is why you're 200 pounds overweight. Big Back Barbecue is why you have sleep apnea. You're eating shit that you ain't supposed to. You're eating like another culture. It's like, especially when it comes to lactose. Black people, we don't produce the lactose or the thing that breaks down lactose. That's why we are lactose intolerant. But it tastes good. So that cup of ice cream is worth you shitting your brains out for the next 3 hours. Y'all gotta listen to yourselves. But people don't like it when you bring race into things, when you bring religion into things. There's conversations that need to be had. We can't just kumbaya past some shit. There's conversations that need to be had so we can all move forward as a collective. And that's just what I do. But if you're somebody that doesn't like, you know, opposing opinions, if you only regurgitate what you've heard and you can't fathom the fact that maybe you don't have all the information, it is what it is. But for me, one of the awesome things about this channel is I get to put on different masks. And I can be like, because I'll be learning some shit. Like, for example, right? Hold up. See, I got this book here. This is going to be inspiring a couple of videos. God, Sex, and the Women of the Bible. The Bible got a whole bunch of people, a whole bunch of men talking a bunch of shit, but ain't too much for the women to talk about. Women are just property, and they get like a little line here and there, but there was never nothing too prophetic from the women. I'm like, how the fuck did the women not speak when your whole culture came from? You see what I'm saying, bro? You know what I'm saying? So like when I'm going to read that book, and there's going to be some things I agree with and some of them I disagree with. But some of the things that I disagree with by chance, I will put on the opposite perspective and speak the other perspective to the camera. Because then I can let the internet, I call them the pocket PhDs, you know, the keyboard knights, the keyboard warriors, to come correct me, because I utilize the nature of the internet. The nature is full of a bunch of Reddit smartasses that feel like they know more than everybody. So, you might. And if you want to yell at me and correct me to give me some new information that I can use, if that's how I got baited out, so be it. I'm really good at manipulation. I am. Because I learned it as a means of protecting myself when I was in college. Let me learn how the mind works. Let me learn how psychology works. Let me learn how sociology works. And then once I know how to utilize that, I can observe it. But once you observe it so much, you then know how to control it. So if I can make a super abrasive video that baits out exactly who I was going for, and I can get it 1-to-1. I knew that this was going to call this person out. They responded. Simple. You know, so sometimes I come across as abrasive because I'm doing it on purpose. In real life, I'm not like that. Now, we can have a conversation where I have strong opinions, and if we're having a heated conversation, I can get there. You know what I'm saying? But like with this internet shit, I lean into the culture. And that is a part of me. Now, I can't put all of myself in every single video. Some stuff is supposed to remain private. Some stuff is like I use to add a little bit of truth to my performance. You know, like if you hate me, like basically, right? Who's that? I've been referring to this dude a lot, but like my girl was watching Game of Thrones. I never watched the show. I'm not interested in way too much unnecessary sex scenes, too many grape scenes, too many beheadings. I'm like, yo, bro, like this is, to me, it's cheap content. You know what I'm saying? Put some titties in the thing to keep everybody's dopamine in shock. So it makes y'all think that this shit is entertaining. Whatever, couldn't be me. But nevertheless, the annoying king, like the annoying the blonde hair king that got killed with the poison and shit, like the young dude that was just like an evil asshole. You know what I'm saying? It's like, why was his character invoking so much emotion out of you? Because the actor played his part. That's why he was such an annoying character, and you couldn't wait to see him die, because the actor killed that role. I just do the same thing. So the people that stick around on my channel, you see when I'm trying to agitate somebody, but then when I let y'all into who I am as a person, you know, they be like, oh, he's just being a dickhead on purpose. Oh, okay. I see what he's doing because I see his true character in these videos. Okay. And that's just the balance. You know, it's like I can be an asshole, but I can also be a softie. You know, one of my favorite songs by Tech Nine is Evil Brain, Angel Heart. You know what I'm saying? I can talk the most shit, but when the moment arises, my girl be like, you always talk so tough, but in the moment, yeah, because in the moment, I'm like, what's the best course of action? Do I need to step up? Do I need to say something? Or is it just easier if we just let it go and keep it pushing? You see what I'm saying? But nevertheless, bro, you know, it's just like, when you hide pieces of yourself, you're doing yourself a disservice. But when you can just freely just be yourself, the world gets so much easier because you don't care who accepts you as long as you accept you. And the people that rock with you will rock with you. That's how you find your tribe. You just walk around being your authentic self, and people will go and join you eventually in the journey that we all call life. Till the next one, y'all. Peace.